Legendary on the field, kinda drip as a skill, this the highest cruiser bill, ain't nothing just to heal. We'll slip on, spin move, in zone, scope for sideline, a touchdown, I put on a show. I had to kick off and go. I had to kick off and go. We'll slip on, spin move, in zone, scope for sideline, a touchdown, I put on a show. I had to kick off and go. I had to kick off and go.
Tonight, it's the National Football League Super Bowl 56. Vegas Raiders versus Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Las Vegas Raiders taking on the NFC champions. It's finally time for football as we're underway in Super Bowl 56. Taken in the end zone. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of this Super Bowl will begin at the 25. Here come the Seahawks. Time for that offense and quarterback Russell Wilson to go to work.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. At the beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football, rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Yeah, he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Brought down behind the line.
That was well played there defensively. Two tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. Blitz coming and down he goes.
Two plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
1st and 10.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. The 30. The 20, and touchdown Seattle. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead.
Lining up for the point after.
So a long play for our first points in the Super Bowl.
No doubt about it, and what we see here is something that we saw all year long from them. The ability to strike from anywhere on the field. How about the way they got us started in this one?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right at the the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tyler Davison. Able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards, a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jacobs now. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Josh Jacobs.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Flushed out right. He's caught. Touchdown. Raiders. Devin Funchess there to make the grab. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And the QB rating right now is sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Now the try here for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Wilson. The catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they get him down but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And a 42-yard line here and brought down there. He'll get just a yard on the scramble at 2nd down.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded in the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
At their own 25.
Here come the Seahawks now set to take over on offense. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
At the 25-yard line.
Throwing again. Wilson. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And now look at him go. He's at the 30, 10, and touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, 68 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Well, earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Now here's Baldwin. They'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. From the gun, it's Tua. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that,
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game? Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely, and that sack finally a first step in the right direction.